My name is José Rodriguez, and I am the new co-rector here at Christ the King Episcopal Church. I am very excited to be starting this new charge here with you all. I'm originally from the Azalea Park community, and I'm very much looking forward to growing with you through these years as we grow together to listen to God's voice and discern His calling in our life.
I'm Heather Rodriguez, and these are our kids, Eva and Elijah. And I grew up in the Dover Shores area, which is right next to Azalea Park, and I'm looking forward to worshiping and being with you. We got married in 2006, and we have two kids, 5 and 9, 6 and 9. She just turned 6. And we just got 2 dogs recently. And we've lived in Oviedo since we got married. And I was born and raised here in Central Florida.
And I was born in Puerto Rico, and my family moved to Central Florida in 1987, in that first big wave of Puerto Rican migration.
So when I was 4 or 5, my mom forced me to start taking piano lessons because she played piano. So my brother and I both had to start taking piano lessons, and then I decided I wanted to be in band, so then I started flute. And then I wanted to be in orchestra, so I started the harp. And then I just kept going, and I majored in music. And yeah, I feel more connected to the Lord when I'm playing. It's one of the songs we're doing on Sunday, and it was on the forefront of my mind. But on top of that, I love this song because one of the lines in it is slain by a fierce wild beast, and I just think that's the coolest thing ever. But on top of that, it's talking about all of our callings in our lives and how we're all saints. And then it lists some of the things that saints do, and one of them is a priest, and one of them is a queen, and then slain by the fierce wild beast. I always feel like, if I'm still alive at the end, that I won't be slain by my kids as fierce wild beasts as kids are. So multiple layers of that, but
And also, probably not the reason she picked it, but one of the reasons I love it is we were married at All Saints Episcopal Church in Winter Park. And our little daughter Eva, when our family was finally made complete and our youngest one was born, she was born at All Saints Day in Winter Park.
On All Saints Day at Winter Park Hospital.
Yeah, the same hospital you were born in.
The same hospital I was born in.
So the whole concept of All Saints and the concept of the Holy Family has been really important in our family. But it's a special song for us.
That's true.
And I would probably credit that with one of the very first times I heard God's voice speaking to me. And I carried that in my heart for a very, very long time. And it eventually came to fruition one day when I also heard God's voice through a priest friend of mine. I don't even remember she was a priest then, but I was a lay leader at Church of the Incarnation in Oviedo. And I was out on our old property on 419 where we had a water well. And I was there a few days for Thanksgiving, and she came up to me and she told me that the Lord had revealed something to her and if I would be willing to receive it. And I said yes. And she gave me 2 words, let go. And with those 2 words, it started up a journey. I quit my job. I was a vice president at a bank. And a lot of things happened. A lot of dominoes fell. But it eventually led to me being called to be a priest and being ordained and serving in the communities we serve in. I was raised in a Christian household. Very fortunate, blessed. My mother was a believer, my father was a believer. My grandfather was a pastor, my uncle was an evangelist. We were raised in the Pentecostal church, and we were always taught from a young age that God has a purpose for each and every one of us, and that we each had a function in the church. And when people come up to me, or they come up to Heather, they assume she's just a priest's wife. And I remind them that I was just a lay person working at a bank, and my wife was already a music minister, and she had been for a very long time. And our ministries have been side by side. I serve on the Dawson board, and you're on the
Standing committee.
Yeah, and she was on the on the Dawson board even before I was on it.
Yes.
So my wife in our marriage and our family has always taken the lead.
When I knew him. You know the answer, right? I chose you because you had a good sense of humor and because you made me laugh.
And I fell in... And I chose you because you were the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But
Thank you.
I chose to marry you when I went to see you play at University Carillon Church. And you were up there playing the flute, remember? And I was just in awe of you worshiping and leading worship. And I don't know if you remember, I told you, I heard the voice. This is going to sound like I'm crazy, I hear God's voice everywhere. But no, I clearly heard the Lord's voice tell me you will marry that woman. And I asked you to marry me that day. And you said yes. That's why I chose you, because
we got married. We decided to get married a year earlier.
A year earlier, quickly. Yeah.